It is the Riot Podcast. This is an exciting one.
Actually, I feel like there's a lot in here.
There is a lot, and I really don't want to spoil it, but there's been a development with the Chris Muggs situation.
Woo, it's a big one.
Yes.
So Chris is our engineer.
Yep.
So if you've listened to some of our podcasts in the last few weeks, he had a special Christmas Bear coffee mug.
Uh-huh.
That was one of his work ones. Something happened to it. So listen for the development coming in this podcast.
There's been a breakthrough in the case.
That's it.
And so we will get to that in the show. We'll also talk about how you could get your own free bagel from Panera.
Just the bagel.
At certain times and not any spreads included.
Nothing else. Just the bagel.
But you could get the bagel. So Panera really going all out to encourage you
for like 2 or 3
to get
days.
the jab. Yeah. There's some talk of Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And Seinfeld. You know, all of the current stars.
Oh, you're right. It is the older things.
Yeah. Did you know Seinfeld? We didn't talk about it when we talked about it in the show. He's 67. Can you believe?
Is he that old?
He's that old.
I guess I don't watch him enough. Like I like parts of his special he did for Netflix.
Yeah.
That we mentioned for the story that he's now a part of. But I felt like, he is older.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't really connect with all the stuff in it. But yeah, you forget, like, Seinfeld's an old show and he's done stuff after, but he doesn't need to do anything.
No. And if you've watched Seinfeld so much, I feel that's one of those characters where you still associate him with the age that he was in the show. And one of the things they've always said about Seinfeld is they don't want to do a reunion because everybody will just be old and it'll be sad, except for Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She never ages. She looks great. She could be 67. We wouldn't know. She's fantastic.
I haven't seen her recently, but we'll talk about Jerry Seinfeld and Netflix and a movie revolving around the creation of something that he always would put in his comedy specials.
Yes. So that's in the show today and some other surprises as well.
The other big thing, too, is please help out by texting. We're going to finish up tomorrow with everybody's thoughts and prayers about it. And then we'll unveil the winner, I guess, on Monday. But if you don't mind texting, you'll hear it throughout this. But we are picking a game to play during an after show next Friday.
Yes.
So if you want to help us pick, it's the new Mario Golf game or the power washing simulator game. And it's really close. Like, you guys I think you'd be fine if we picked either one.
Yeah.
But help us choose which one by texting 877 to RadioU.
Will we all be fine either way, or will there be 50% that will be happy either, or they'll be happy one way and completely dissatisfied the other?
Well, I want to make sure we all had our chance to have our voice heard about which game we want to play.
There should maybe the most effective vote would be saying, "I will not watch if you play if you play Mario. I am not watching," and more than a vote for the power washing game.
You can text that way if you want, or just a simple, "Hey, my name is play such and such."
Yep.
That's all you need to do. 877 to RadioU. We hope you guys enjoy the podcast.
You could even leave it in the reviews. Give us a review on iTunes.
Don't
subscribe,
do that.
unsubscribe, and then resubscribe. Give us a rating and a review. It helps boost us in the rankings and help more people find out about the show you love.
I guess if you guys want to go through all that too, then please help out.
This helps in the metrics.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for stopping in.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
You'll have to give me a minute, Nikki.
What's up with your headphones over there?
The cord is...
is it wrapped around the chair?
Yeah,
Yes, I
it
know.
is. It's stuck on the wheel.
It's really bad. We have, headphones that we use, and they have extra long cords, and sometimes our chairs, they're rolly chairs, and you'll roll right over it, and it gets stuck up in the wheel part of the
It's really wound up in there.
Of the wheel. That's how it's now it's your challenge today, Hudson. You get to do the show that way.
It's really nice that the cord is long enough that I can still do this. I can still talk and still get near the mic. But why do we have these cords so long, They're plugged in right where we sit, under the mic.
I mean, this is a new studio setup. So originally, I think our cords are just Actually, I think they're probably normal length.
Yeah.
But in case you need to, what if there's an emergency and you got to walk 10 feet?
I could literally walk out of the room with my headphones on and they would still be plugged in because this cord is so long. But not now because it's stuck in the chair.
That's why you need the length. No, just roll the chair over there. See if it'll roll with it.
That's right. I don't have to walk out of the room. I could roll on my chair out of the room and I'd still be good.
We have these hooks that you can also hang up your headphones when you're done because you don't ever wrap headphones. You hang them up.
Oh, no, definitely not.
But what I do is I just take the extra cord length and I tuck it on the hook.
You also, that's you that does that.
Yeah,
okay.
so then that way, it's not, because otherwise I'll just roll all over it too.
Yeah, this has never happened to me before. I've never had.
Now, guys, it's not an emergency, okay?
No.
So no one.
I mean, even in an emergency, we're just talking. I don't even need these. I don't really. Well, I could still hear you.
That would
You're
get
right
annoying,
across the room. It's not that far.
If this was truly a horror movie, it would be that the chair rolls over that and then you go to fix it and it starts rolling over you.
Yep, and I'd be sucked in also like it's a scary escalator or something.
Yep, and then you're gone.
That's what it feels like in a way.
And then all I see is just a whoosh of blood as it takes you out. Well, we'll just take a moment and we'll let you unwind from the wheel.
Okay, that sounds like I hope in one song I can do it.
Well, I hope it's not
because I've been trying for a minute here and it's it might be getting worse.
Maybe because you don't have your full attention given to it, but hopefully he'll be just fine in a couple of minutes.
I might have to turn up the lights.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Jerry Seinfeld, who he's only done like 2 movies maybe. He did the B movie.
Well, this one is I think it's supposed to be like a documentary style movie.
Yeah, I'm not.
So I don't even know what he's done with that.
One because he's writing, directing, producing, and starring in it.
Yeah.
So do you really star in a documentary? So that's where I'm tripped up. I was like, is there some kind of, is this going to be a story or is it going to be just a history of the
it could be like he's
topic at hand,
like he's voicing it or hosting it.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure. Basically, he said during the pandemic he was home for so long, and he said he was stuck at home watching endless sad faces on TV. So he thought it was time to bring up something like to make something that would just be pure happy silliness.
Yep.
And this is what he came up with.
And of course, if you know Seinfeld, if you've watched his stand-up, what does he love as much as Pop-Tarts?
Nothing.
And so he is going to be, the movie is called Unfrosted.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the story of Pop-Tarts, the invention of them. And if you're a Seinfeld fan, he has a whole comedy bit about the invention of Pop-Tarts because he's quite a bit older than we are. And so he remembers when Pop-Tarts first showed up in stores. And as he says, the back of his head blew clean off.
Very good version of Seinfeld.
Did you know I got kicked out of the studio in broadcasting school for doing a Seinfeld impression?
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Did they just not like it, or did they not want that
energy?
It was
too loud.
Yeah.
They told me I was too loud, and I was disrupting other people. And mind you, this was in a radio studio.
Were you supposed to be
was so loud, I was bleeding through the radio studio into the classrooms, and they said, "You got to stop."
Now they don't realize is that you can use it where you're at now.
Yeah, I'm the one that got kicked out of the studio, and I'm the only one that's in a studio these days.
Right now, that's it. So basically, it's inspired by Seinfeld's Netflix special when he put it in 23 Hours to Kill. And that is his history of like when he first fell in love with Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
So he said now he's taking the Pop-Tarts stand-up bit from his Netflix special and putting it into a giant, crazy comedy movie. So that's the only thing we can't get. Is it a documentary style?
Yeah.
Is it really about the history? Is it some sort of a complete movie, like comedy movie?
Yeah.
But it'll be for Netflix.
Maybe we're thinking mockumentary style. We're thinking like a Mighty Wind, which I guess probably nobody has seen Mighty Wind. But you know the movies I'm talking about where it is a documentary, but it's not real. And so it's all done in the style like documentary now. There's tons of examples. I'm sure you've seen some of them. And when they're done properly, they are some of the funniest things you can find.
But it really is the history of Pop-Tarts, though. It is supposed to really cover the history.
All right. Well, either way, I'm all in on Seinfeld, so I will watch this. I guarantee. And it's on Netflix, which I got to get my brother's money's worth of that somehow.
I know you do, don't you? They're going to begin production on it spring of 22, so no hurry anytime soon.
Yeah, not anytime soon.
Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You ever have a joke that you're ready to make and then you hold back because you feel like it could be in bad taste?
Yeah.
And then it turns out like whatever you would have said there would have like maybe
would have been in bad taste.
It might have been in bad taste, and you really dodged a bullet by saying it. I feel like I did that here with Indiana Jones because you remember a couple weeks ago we talked about Harrison Ford's workout routine.
Yeah.
And he was riding a bike was basically it. He rides a bike and goes for walks.
Well, when we say it that way, though, I mean, it needs a bit more context of like he's filming right now the next Indiana Jones movie.
Yep.
And because he's 78, they kept saying, but he's a young 78.
Yeah, he's in really good shape.
And they kept pointing out like how often he would exercise while they're filming, and his big method of exercising is bike riding.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, I think they kept saying he has a very expensive bike.
Yeah, and he does, like, you see him out and about where he lives, and it's like 40 miles a day, so it is impressive. But when we were talking about that, I was like, don't say that he's going to get hurt. Don't say that he's going to get, because he got hurt when he was filming the last Star Wars, or one of the recent Star Wars movies.
He did.
So
that was his ankle.
And it's just because he is really old for a movie star, especially to be doing like action movies. It'd be one thing if he's Anthony Hopkins and he's like in a wheelchair in every movie, but he's not. He's out.
Anthony Hopkins.
I don't know if he's really in a wheelchair, but I picture him.
That's
I mean, he's not in a wheelchair in real life.
Sure.
But I think he plays characters in wheelchairs. You know what I mean? Well, like he's not especially active on the screen physically.
They're not saying
where Indiana
what
Jones that he is.
They're not saying what happened to Harrison Ford, except that it was his shoulder. So they're not saying, was it something when he was filming? Was it something when he was riding his bike?
Yeah.
Like, when did it happen? But they are saying that he has been injured to the point where they're now going to have to film around him.
Yep.
This movie for the next Indiana Jones 5 is going to be in theaters on July 29th of next year. So they can't really stop filming, but they're going to just work around it.
They don't have the time. And Nikki and I were talking off air, and I kept seeing the name later in the story. After you get past Harrison Ford, they start talking about James Mangold, who I guess is making the movie.
Yeah.
Did you know he made Logan? Mm-hmm. That is his claim to fame so far.
Is that it?
All of a sudden, I'm starting to think maybe this Indiana Jones movie won't be so bad, because
I don't
James
know.
Mangold made one other movie that I liked. So maybe he'll make another one.
That's being, you know what? I want to keep that optimism there.
Yeah, come on.
Why not? This is going to be a great Indiana Jones movie. Forget about the last one.
It's the final Indiana Jones movie, and much like James Mangold came in and he took the X-Men franchise, which was not headed... It was still around, but it wasn't in the best spirits at that moment. It didn't have the best...
And he revived it?
Yeah, he brought it back for one final movie to close it out. And I think that's what he might do with Indiana Jones. I have hope now.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Nikki.
Yes.
It is a life or death situation. Tell me everything you know about CPR, quick.
I actually took a class and did the thing with it.
Yep.
But I feel like we should have learned more CPR stuff like when we were in school.
Yeah.
So that we would actually feel comfortable. Because sometimes you take a class, you get certified or whatever, and then you forget everything you learned.
Yep.
So I feel like I'm probably in that same spot.
They need to beat it into you when you're young so that you can save lives when you're older. Well, I know that when you're doing CPR, you pump to you like do your chest compressions to the beat of Staying Alive by the Bee Gees.
That's it?
That's what I know.
That's what everybody teaches?
Yep. And I know that because of The Office.
How many lives have been saved because of this episode?
Yeah, well, at least one, because this guy's name is Matt Uber, and he lives in Carmel, Indiana. He saved his 4-year-old daughter after she had collapsed, and he started doing CPR, and it's because, much like me, he knows how to do CPR. at least mostly because of The Office.
From the episode?
Where, if I remember right, it's, everybody's in the CPR class and they're doing the dummy and doing the chest compressions to staying alive. And then Andy, of course, starts dancing and singing to staying alive instead of saving the dummy's life. So, in typical Andy fashion. That's so Andy.
I never saw that episode.
Oh, man, come on.
I'd have to look it up. But they're basically saying that she went into cardiac arrest. She's 4, and they didn't know that she had something going on. So it was just kind of shocking. They had been running around.
Yeah.
And then he remembered this. Like a lot of people, if you're in that situation, you're afraid you're going to hurt the person more.
Yeah, right.
So some people are very hesitant, but they said that because he started that when they got in, were able to give her a shock. She was able to recover. So the thing that he did in the beginning with CPR absolutely played a part in saving her life.
Yeah, it's really, it's great news. It's a heartwarming story that it all turned out all right. And this is just proof that The Office should not be stuck behind a paywall on Peacock. You should be able to actually watch so that you can see what other valuable lessons you could learn that could save a life one day.
Maybe Peacock should make this one episode the free one that everybody could always watch without commercials.
Yeah, right.
Don't do that.
No commercials. And why even stop there? They should just, instead of teaching a CPR class, they should just show this episode.
Well,
it should be the passage for everyone. When you graduate, you have to see this so you learn how to.
Oh, we need to learn earlier. We need to really have this again, really hit hard since we're very young. And they say also it's helpful to have a knowledge of an AED, the automated external defib machine.
Yeah.
That you should have a knowledge of that and, of course, just CPR.
I don't even know. I mean, I guess that's the defibrillator, shock thing. But why would a regular person need to know that, though?
If you're outside, like in public places, a lot of times there are ones that are on the walls. Huh. So you can use that. You don't have to wait for a paramedic.
Yeah.
That one's really scary. But
I wouldn't be comfortable doing that at all.
When you take
really should need a class to shock people back to life, I think.
Well, when you take CPR, that's included with it. So let's all plan and not YouTube video on learning, but at least try to get a class so you have some sort of knowledge.
You want to organize a RadioU class for CPR?
Do I need to?
Riot Podcast, RadioU.
So more votes for next Friday. It should be next Friday. We're doing an after show with a gameplay. We're either going to play some of Mario Golf Super Rush, which is new, and then also new-ish is the Power Wash Simulator. And you get to vote on which one we play. So text 877 to RadioU. Jesse says, good morning, Hudson and Nikki. It's Jesse. If the Power Washing Simulator is as satisfying as in real life, that's my vote.
Ooh.
So right now, Mario Golf is still way in the lead, but I think power washing is picking up some steam.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential with the power washing. And what if it even inspires us to do it in real life?
I know. I think I have a power washer thing.
You do?
I think so. I think Eric bought it once.
Can I borrow it? My house needs one.
Absolutely, you can.
I can?
I think so,
If I can figure out how to use it.
It's just a green power washing thing.
Yeah.
I think it's like a Aerobi or something.
RIOT?
Yeah.
I heard that's not a good brand.
Yeah. Oh. Well, then... What's that? You don't dump that out there. What if the power washer's
I'm
listening?
sorry to you or Eric, whoever picked it out.
We don't care. But still, it's a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Well, now you can
I don't want to borrow it anymore.
Now you can find your own
Wait till you get me DeWalt. No, I don't think DeWalt is good either. I don't know what the good brand is.
Does anybody know what a good power washer brand?
My brother does construction, and all of the tools he buys are Makita. So
what is it?
Makita? Which I always think of Stan Mikita, the hockey player. I'm sure nobody knows who that is because he died long before I think I even lived. So.
I go by colors. Like I know there's the red ones, and then I think the ones I have are like it's like a green color.
Yeah.
This one looks like a teal color.
I don't think Ryobi would be green.
Well,
those are usually orange.
Ryobi.
It's funny I know so much about these brands when I've never used any of them.
No, I see Ryobi's green.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. Ryobi green. Does it have a bad reviews or?
I don't think it does. Jeez. We were going to talk about space, but I don't think so. Why don't I go to the break room and get a little drink so I feel better?
Yeah, so you can recover after I dumped all over your Ryobi. I'm not even saying it right, I don't think. It's
Ryobi. Ryobi.
Would any power wash professionals like to chime in on what RIOT, if it's any good or not.
A RIOT power wash. Sometimes, Hudson, you're supposed to be thankful that someone has one that they were going to lend you.
It was just, sometimes I just have a stream of consciousness and I just can't stop myself. We're a show, so I just need to keep pushing the show forward.
It's like you threw up your opinion?
Yes, just to keep... So that there wasn't an uncomfortable lull of silence.
Now there is. Now it's uncomfortable.
I'm comfortable. I'm fine.
RIOT has, out of 7,733 reviews, 4 out of 5 stars.
Oh, that's not so bad.
But I can't see. That's just on Home Depot, but I wonder on Amazon. Unless you think it's all fake reviews.
No,
Hudson.
If it's Home Depot, you trust the dads that are on there, right?
Out of Amazon, it has 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay. All right.
That's good enough.
Maybe it's not so bad.
That's good enough.
Maybe I rushed to judgment, or maybe it's most likely I'm getting RIOT confused with a different brand.
Well, I know what you're
not getting. That's not well known in the industry.
You're not getting to borrow it. anymore.
That's all right. You know what? I haven't power washed my house in however many years, and somehow it'll manage
It'll be fine.
to continue to not be power washed.
Anyone can under-promise and over-deliver. Except these two. The Riot RadioU.
Like I said, we've almost made it through the week, but then you just see something that makes it a little harder for you to make it, to handle life.
To finish the week out?
You just kind of just want to stop. You just want to lie down on the floor and stop. You see...
Stop looking at this more. It's awful.
When you see the Netflix trailer that dropped yesterday for the show Sexy Beasts.
Yeah, it's a dating show.
Yes, a new dating show coming to Netflix. And the premise of the show is that it is a dating show where it's a blind date.
Yeah.
It looks like there will be one person and they get to go on 3 blind dates. All 4 people that are involved each are wearing movie quality prosthetics to make them look like different creatures. Yes, like there's a woman here who has a dolphin head, and then there's this guy who seems to be a beaver, I would think.
There's a lady who's a panda.
There's a panda woman. There's people that are devils and stuff. It's just hard. There's a bison. Oh, man. I hate it all. I just hate it.
Well,
it's an abomination, Nikki.
They have a date and they're all dressed like that because their thing is, well, you want to see if you can actually meet someone you like for them and not for their looks.
Right.
But then they keep wearing them. So it's almost like, what's the one show? The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, where they keep doing things and keep meeting or almost like Big Brother sort of thing where they're all together in this house.
Yep.
But they're all still wearing the costumes. It's awful.
From what I gather from the trailer is you go on the 3 blind dates.
Yeah.
And then at the end, so then they're all 4 gathered together and the one person that went on the date with the 3 of them still without seeing what they actually look like, only seeing their creature character face. Then they get to decide which one they like, and then then there's the big reveal after they choose each other.
I've stopped using Netflix. I haven't watched anything in a while.
Yeah.
To the point where every time I do log in to see if I want to keep it, why can't we choose what our Netflix money goes to?
I know.
This is stupid.
They keep raising the prices and keep making worse and worse things.
But this will be number 1. People will watch
People will. The dating shows on Netflix are the worst, and they get ratings.
They bring in the
from
numbers.
What we can tell, anyways. They're always trending. So.
Do you think the one guy with the straw, is he supposed to be like the Cowardly Lion? Or
I thought he was a scarecrow, wasn't he?
Scarecrow,
yeah.
Okay. Weird.
It really, and I think part of it is, I don't know if they do this intentionally or not, but the style of the makeup that they're using, it is really it really is movie quality, but it's almost uncanny valley where there's just something off about it. Is it
so good?
I don't know if that's so good. I think there's something specific about the style that there's a creepiness to it.
Well, That doesn't take much. I don't think it does.
When you're wearing a dolphin head and a scarecrow head.
On a date.
Yeah, on a date. It does, it has that effect.
Well, it feels also not from America, and it's based off, we're right, it's based off a UK dating show, because someone was mentioning, like Tiffany says, it sounds creepy, like The Masked Singer is as far as I go with costumes, but like The Masked Singer, that's from South Korea.
Okay.
Like, they're all taken from other international shows, and this one's the same.
We're behind on our dating shows. We can't, on our own in the United States, conjure up the creepy ideas for dating shows that they can find in other countries like the UK.
So if anybody else has seen the Sexy Beast trailer from Netflix, I'm sorry too.
Yeah.
And I don't want to watch anymore.
And we're sorry that our Netflix dollars are going to this.
I really am.
And
I just have to do it. Sometimes you just gotta cancel.
You just gotta pull the plug.
You have to.
You can at least cancel until a show comes along that you know you want to watch. Until they drop the new seasons of Stranger Things.
I don't care
or until that new Seinfeld Pop-Tart movie comes out.
I can wait for that.
We can cancel. We don't have to do this.
All right. Well, look. Here's the X, and I'm clicking out of the trailer,
and we're not gonna think about it anymore.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We still want people to get the vaccine. That is the stance of our country. And at least of myself, I'll say, make your own choice, but I think it's best the more people vaccinated, the better.
Now, tell me, though, if you feel like once we hit July, that's when things change a tiny bit. Because that's the national month, of action stuff.
Okay.
And that's when McDonald's is supposed to do their cups, and then Panera, which we're going to talk about in a moment.
Yeah.
And it feels like that's when these companies are offering these incentives, but I think, are they getting money from our government to participate in the month of action?
Is it money? Is it tax breaks?
Something
is it some kind of grant?
Lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that way.
If Panera is getting a grant to do this, that's a racket I want to get in on. Panera has announced that their vaccine incentive for anybody who is still, I really feel at this point, everybody's kind of made up their mind about the vaccine.
Yes.
The remaining people, I know the goal of the U.S. is to get to 70% vaccinated by July 4th, and now they're saying that's unlikely. So that 30-some%, I think there's just nothing you can do.
Well, maybe a bagel.
Maybe a bagel will be what wins you over after all this time where you've been like, it's too inconvenient. I don't feel safe doing it, or I don't want to be tracked by Bill Gates or whatever it is. But the bagel, this will do it.
Well, I feel like that's you should be like, are you going to be guilty because you chose that? You just told the big delicious bagel that you'll do anything. Yeah. Just give me a free one.
Yeah, we don't want to make you feel bad if this is what that wins you over.
No one will judge you.
But Panera has announced that they are going to be giving away one free bagel to vaccinated customers July 2nd through 4th at participating locations.
Not a big window there.
And it's any bagel you want, even the specialty flavors. And they've got one for everybody, from plain to sesame to everything, to chocolate chip to cinnamon swirl, whatever it may be that you are interested in, they've got a bagel for you.
That's why this feels different than when Krispy Kreme was like, here, a donut a day.
Yeah, they were ahead of the game.
This feels, I hate when I feel that way. I feel like it's a part of the game. Even though, to get people to do that if they want to provide the incentive. But what's the kickback?
If our government is paying Panera to give away free bagels for 3 days, they are more inept than anybody has ever given them credit for.
And that's why my worry is. I'm like, where's all this money coming from to do all this? We can't.
This is the best idea our government has at the moment, is to pay Panera to give us free bagels. And what I was raising a concern to Nikki off the air was, I used to work at Panera, if I remember right, they charge you individually for the bagel and the cream cheese. So you're going to waltz into Panera. You got your vaccination card. 1 free bagel with cream cheese, please. And they're going to be like, that's $2.35 because you can't have the cream cheese for free.
Now,
and that's not included in the story that we're seeing.
Hey, Panera, that's cheap. But then second, you get 1 free bagel per COVID vaccinated customer. Spreads not included.
There it is. Spreads not included.
They're not throwing in the cream cheese
The
with
butter
it.
is free, and you can go use honey if you want.
But not cream cheese?
But no cream cheese. Nope. That's a no.
It's fine. It's all fine, isn't it? Everything's fine.
This is Panera is the worst. It's just the worst.
Hey, there's a long list.
I worked there. I mean, hey, they treated me nicely when I worked there, so I don't want to criticize them in that regard. But like the food isn't good. It's so expensive.
Hang on there, Hudson. Hang on. People are liking the pizza thing.
What?
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Not too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Well, that does it. Now Nikki's never moving to Maine.
It's off the list.
Yeah.
Even though
you lost your chance.
I don't
Maine.
think I ever had 16 or more at one time, so I might be okay with this.
Yeah, the state of Maine, they are cracking down on the release of latex balloons, and they are not the first state to do this. Connecticut, California, Virginia have all made similar laws, but now Maine is on their way to banning latex balloons. Now, at first, it sounds like they're going to just stop selling all the latex balloons, and it's going to be for everybody. Like if your little child loses their balloon from Applebee's, that's a problem. No, but they are targeting the release of 16 or more balloons. So in other words, if somebody organizes something, which you see done at like what? Graduations, maybe people do it for
graduation.
Gender reveals would be a big one, I think.
I've seen a few for like if someone passes away.
Yeah.
So they do like a balloon launch. The problem is when you're releasing that many, balloons aren't the best because they come down.
Yep.
And they can cause quite a few issues when they're down.
Yeah.
And this little animal or creature comes up and like, what's this?
It's always the sea turtles, they say, because the sea turtles is why we can't have straws, because the straws get in their noses, and the sea turtles are why we can't have balloons because they think they're jellyfish and they will eat them.
They say whales will eat them as they feed. Birds can get them tangled with the attached ribbon part.
Well, yeah, you think about if you've ever had a cat or a dog get into the ribbon, maybe they should ban that too. So
they say 16 or more will become a civil offense. So if you're caught flaunting that and you have more than 16 or more balloons, the old fines will go up to about $500.
It's just one of those things, though. It's hard to... Hopefully, people will just know about this and they won't do it. But it's also hard to police because you see a big group of balloons flying up in the air. How are you going to report that? And if there's a big group of balloons being released, odds are everybody at the event is okay with it. So they're not going to go report to, hey, at this gender reveal, we did the balloon release. It's just going to be another thing where it's like, hey, we're getting away with something.
No, I bet you there's a disgruntled neighbor close enough who's mad at not being invited who will know the rules with it. So they're just saying it affects the ecosystem. So they're introducing the bill this session. They say people don't realize they're damaging ocean life, but when they let balloons fly away, when they come down, that's the problem.
So if you're inland, it's still okay. You can release as many balloons as you want. You don't have to worry about the sea turtles. They'll just land in a farm somewhere. It'll be fine.
They still say birds and stuff. And I think also, like, if you do like a big bunch of balloons, can it also hit the power lines and the... And that stuff, like, I feel like I've seen balloons hit and then it explodes, but maybe not.
I can imagine that. Or what if they float up and cause issues for a plane?
I think they're gone by then.
You think?
I don't think they go up that far.
It could be a problem. I don't know. It could be.
I don't know about
what
that
about like a smaller propeller plane? The Cessnas or whatever.
I don't know.
It could cause problems for that. Let's just not release balloons. Can we not?
So if the bill goes through and gets approved, the release of 16 to 24 balloons gives you a first-time offense a fine of $100 to $500. If you release more than that, so more than 24 balloons, your fine goes over the $500 mark. And they say this does not apply if it's weather or scientific balloon releasing.
Oh, okay.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We had talked a few weeks ago about Chris, who's our engineer.
Yeah.
Chris had posted a sign in our break room, wanted. He was missing one of his work mugs. And this was a holiday Christmas teddy bear edition.
Yep.
It's an older mug.
It is.
But it's one he really liked. And he had put his number up for like tips and stuff. No reward.
A tip line.
But there was a tip line. And so Tim was wondering, because we posted a pic of it on our RadioU official on Instagram, said, was the mug ever returned to Chris?
The answer, as far as I know, is no. And him and I talked about it, and we have come to the conclusion that we're fairly sure somebody must have broken it by accident.
That's what we think. Was it an accident?
Yeah.
We don't know.
There's still, there hasn't been a complete investigation yet, so we don't have all of the answers, and we're not ruling anything out.
Aw, but you would have thought we would have seen, like, because no one cleans up well, like little bits of the mug.
Yeah.
Like little shards of the ceramic. Or it
just would have been sitting on top of the trash for 3 days before somebody finally took the garbage out.
But I doubt someone would steal it. But we do have sometimes some people that come in and out, and maybe they accidentally broke it.
Yeah, that's the only thing we can think that's a reasonable explanation. So if it wasn't that, it is the perfect crime. Somebody really
stole it
out of left field must have done it. And by the way, if I was a police chief, I think I'm doing a very bad job, because these are all things you would never say. I'd say we have some leads, we have stuff we're following up on, we're still very hopeful. That's what I would say if I was a police chief, but I'm being real here with you.
You need to channel the murder of the HBO show,
Mayor of Easttown.
Yeah, exactly. You need to channel all that and just like figure out like where's it at. I think because we'll sometimes have people who come in and like clean the building. If I had to guess, I think maybe because they'll move the dishes around.
Yep.
I think that's probably
I'm gonna
when
have to go
happens.
chase them down and corner them and question them. And they're very nice. So I don't know if they would confess, I think.
Well, I think Chris has closure. He's just taken the sign down and we tried to find a replacement, but I can't find one.
Wait, did you actually look on eBay and stuff?
Yeah.
Aw.
I did.
Wow, it was a rare mug. It was probably worth a lot.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Hang on, everybody. Chris, turn the radio off.
Yeah, Chris, the engineer, if you're listening, shh.
Okay, give it a second. All right, so we're talking about Chris's missing Berry Christmas mug that we can't find. It was broken or stolen. We just don't know. And so he'd been looking for it, but then he took the sign down and it kind of looked like he had accepted that it was gone.
That it was, he got some closure with it, even though he didn't get to have a proper burial or anything.
I looked on eBay and I didn't find anything, but Ronnie just found it.
Yes, Ronnie.
So we can totally order it. And Chris's birthday's on Monday. I don't think it'll be here fast enough.
Yeah, probably not. Maybe you can pay for expedited shipping.
What? I mean, maybe it's nice just to get a gift later whenever this comes in.
We can give him he posted a picture of the mug that he was looking for. We could give him a picture of the mug that we're getting for him.
So, okay, a quick poll for everybody if you think someone would mind. But this is the holiday berry Christmas mug. We can get it for $5 used. I don't see, do you see the shipping cost or is it just, it is what it is?
It doesn't, it just says varies.
Okay, so I'm sure it's like $4 or $5, right?
Right.
So we could pay like $10 for Chris's used berry Christmas mug, or I see someone who's selling it, a new one, for $16.
Yeah.
With almost $8 expedited shipping. Do you think we should get the new one or the used one?
That would be here in 3 days, it says.
Would that be, let's see, what's today? Thursday? Well, it won't with the weekend.
Maybe it would get here Monday.
Maybe. Oh, should we? It comes with a box too that matches the cup.
The box, it says, is slightly damaged, but the mug is...
Aren't we all? But the cup is fine.
I feel like for another $10 to $15, just get the new one.
You think so?
I know it's not fun to think about because we do it at restaurants and stuff. You put your lips on the mug that somebody else has had their lips on. It's a little, when you use that mug, you're kissing everybody that person who used the mug before you has ever kissed.
Well, no, you're cleaning it first.
Still. Hey, this is what I was told in school.
Is the show paying for it or what?
When you kiss someone, you're kissing somebody. Every person that person has ever kissed, they wash their lips in between.
But that's because they were trying to stop people from kissing everybody.
Why doesn't it apply to mugs?
We're just because they do like the industrial cleaning.
Okay.
You're just supposed to, wash it out, put it through the dishwasher.
Yeah.
He won't know. His was used mug.
I think
What if someone is selling it and the used mug is his mug?
Oh my goodness.
Gosh.
Where is that mug coming from? Where is it? Where does it originate?
Well, Ashley says new one. Jim says get the new one. I'll pay for. Oh, Jim, that's so
Jim.
sweet. No, I'm gonna make.
Jim bought me a coffee mug one time.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did. I still have it.
What's this, Jim?
Yeah. Well, he went to the Packers game.
Oh, he did.
Jim, why don't you just buy Jim a mug for everybody here? Because I don't want the special treatment.
It's just gonna be you.
Chris, you're getting one for Chris. So. Get everybody a mug.
The only issue is I'm going to have to get Eric to buy it because I haven't used eBay in years, so I don't even know what my account login is.
Okay,
but
we'll have to work on this.
I'm so excited for Chris.
Yeah, this is fun.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah, this is when you talk about something for long enough, eventually somebody comes up with an answer.
Oh, thank you, Ronnie, for finding it. Chris's birthday's Monday. And again, we didn't find. Ronnie
found it.
The Christmas teddy bear coffee mug that he uses here at RadioU that he can't find anymore. Someone took it or broke it accidentally. And, it's so exciting.
We couldn't have done it without us. I know Ronnie found it, but we
want some of the credit too.
Most of the credit. We're the ones that started talking about it on the show weeks ago.
It's a team effort. We're all a team.
Yeah, it's a team.
And, hey, this is what happens when you're family.
That's right.
We're all a family.
You come together to support each other, and you help find mugs.
Oh, yay!
This is exciting. I can't wait till it comes in the mail. It's like a present to all of us.
I hope Chris, you better not be listening.
Yeah.
Except when we come back and we're no longer talking about your thing.
Yeah, you can. We'll turn it back up in a minute.
Turn it back on.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.